Hey everybody, this is Whitney Suitors. I'm on the streets of North Adams today. We're going to do a little bit of a WHistory. It's kind of a history through my eyes of current events and urban legend in the North Adams, Northern Berkshire region. So, yeah, I'm just out today. We're going to be talking about Massachusetts legalizing marijuana and what does that mean to people, and also kind of a history of marijuana, cannabis, and cannabis oil, the extract that we get from it that is used to cure almost anything. So that will be our theme today and our topic. We are in America, so we want to be free here, and this in Massachusetts now it is free. So as of December 15th, you can now legally grow up to 12 plants in your house and possess up to 10 ounces in your house, which is just about right, and 1 ounce on you in public is fine. Just don't split it up into 25 baggies and you'll be all set. Alright, here we are on the deserted streets of North Adams, Massachusetts, downtown Main Street. And this is WHistory. This is a brief history on cannabis, and now that it's legal in Massachusetts, we can look back on the history of it. And actually, Massachusetts was the first state to prohibit marijuana. I think it was back in 1911, 1912. So we're looking at 105 years of prohibition, which was my entire lifetime and the lifetime of many people. So that's an interesting fact. The federal government prohibited it in 1933, I believe, under Harry Anslinger. And I believe we were the 6th state to legalize in the country, I'm pretty sure. And that's a good spot for Massachusetts to actually be in right now, because there's only a few other states that have legal marijuana as one of their laws, and we're one of them. So that means people are going to be coming here, and we might have some good economic benefits from this new law. I like the way it's set up here now. We're going to be waiting 6 months for the governor and the legislature to make sure everything's fine for opening the actual cannabis stores, but at this point things are looking pretty good. Like I mentioned before, you can grow marijuana legally in your house now, which means you can grow it and then use it to create cannabis oil for your medicine. And cannabis oil dates back over 5,000 years being used for medicine all the way back to China. So there is a long history of cannabis use for medicine throughout the world, which existed in the United States all the way up until the early 1900s when they started to demonize it. And we'll go into those ideas a little bit later. So, Main Street, North Adams, live and direct. Alright, here we are still on Main Street. We're talking about marijuana legalization in Massachusetts. And in this section I'm going to be talking about cannabis oil. I've been making it for just about a decade now. I was very ill back in 2007 with an inflammatory condition which had been spurred on by my immune system overreacting to almost every stimuli possible, including allergies to food, allergies to trees, you name it. When I decided to start using it was because I was suffering from a form of rosacea, which is a facial inflammation which causes a lot of redness and acne type looking things. So when I found out about cannabis oil was when YouTube came out in 2007. My next door neighbor had searched to find out about making hash oil, which was made with butane. And as we searched that, I saw a link to a video called Run from the Cure, which is a movie that Rick Simpson made, a documentary on his use of cannabis oil to cure everything from cancer, Parkinson's disease, anything from common cold, flu, skin cancer, you name it, any kind of skin disease. This stuff works. So I started making it and infusing it into a botanical mixture, like a salve that I found online. I mixed it right into that and kind of heated it up and let it reset into like a waxy salve. And I put it on my face, and lo and behold, it healed right up. Then I found out you could also take it internally for all kinds of maladies, so I started eating it in a pure form, which helped with all my cysts and small tumor-like growths on my body, as well as I had a condition where I would develop styes in my eyes, which would turn into full blown out infections of my eyes, which required operations a couple times. So I was able to heal all these different illnesses that I had, and I feel great now. And another thing I found out about was it's an anti-aging compound. So I also feel like it's helped me to continue to have a younger body. It's cell regeneration in your brain, everywhere in your body. The cells regenerate to their original state. So I've been able to do athletics, ride a bike every day, do all these things that your normal 50-year-old person might start having trouble with. As I found out in 2007 when I couldn't get out of bed very easily due to joint pain and inflammation. So cannabis oil has really helped my life. And from there, I decided to start helping other people. Yeah, so two of the more dramatic cases that I worked with was one woman with terminal breast cancer. She had a couple months to live. She did oil massage onto her chest as well as eating the oil and eating raw leaves. And after a year and a half, she has now been declared cancer-free. The second person I worked with was a young lady who was pregnant who had lung cancer, and she was actually from California. So I helped her, and within a year and a half, she was also cancer-free and had her baby. She was also given not even enough time to live to have her baby at the time, so she was very grateful to have found out about the oil and used it. Again, I've helped hundreds of people from everything from the MRSA infections to just a burn. I had a burn at work one time where a girl had a third-degree burn. We put it right on. She didn't even have to go to the hospital. You name it, it's worked for it. I haven't had any kind of illness or sickness in over 10 years now. I've been completely healthy. I just strictly remain taking the oil at least a few times a month. You don't have to do it that often once you have it in your system. But it's a really great way to stay healthy for everyone on this earth. So luckily it's legal in Massachusetts now, and we can start really seeing the benefits of it. All right, for this section we're going to talk about kind of the conspiracy theory behind cannabis prohibition, which started back in Massachusetts in 1911 and kind of spread out throughout the country through a fear campaign, which was run by Harry Anslinger. As alcohol prohibition ended, he needed something to do, and he decided to go after cannabis, which he decided to call marijuana, to demonize it. He demonized Mexicans and African Americans as well, which has led to the arrest of many millions of people over the past 105 years, who have been put through the prison industrial complex and have been used to pad the dollars for the sheriff's office, which in turn gives the money to the police departments, which are now militarized throughout America. All this has happened on the back of the war on drugs. The war on drugs is actually the war on marijuana. It's an obvious thing. It's the easiest one to go after, and it's the easiest way to get high conviction rates and get their $50,000 per conviction rate that they get through the government grant funding. So there was definitely conspiracy. They conspired to make it illegal, to hide the benefits of the medicine, God's medicine, and to incarcerate millions of people. Every 28 seconds, someone is arrested for marijuana in the United States. In New Jersey alone, there were 22,000 arrests last year. In Massachusetts, there was probably like 12 to 15,000 arrests. That ruins lives, and it makes people really distrust government when they realize that the benefits from this far outweigh any kind of any kind of penalties that they have, that so many people would continue to smoke it and use it and make oils with it, even though they're risking their freedom. And I myself have been arrested for it 3 times and have still have 1 case going where I am going to be going to a jury to have it nullified because it's legal here now, and it's ridiculous that that our district attorney is going to waste the tax dollars, $100,000, on putting on a trial for something that is actually one of the most beneficial botanical medicines in the world. It is the #1. So the conspiracy's been exposed to you all already. We all agree on what the facts are, and now we can study the plant and the medicine and move on. I'm using my trial to try to raise even more awareness, as I've been doing on Facebook and other social media for the past decade or so. And I've got a lot of followers who have learned about cannabis and have come to me to find out about using the oil for their family members or for themselves. So this has been ongoing for a while, but I think we finally reached the summit, and we're going to be able to enjoy the view for a while. So. All right, so here we are in North Adams. This is WHistory. This is our first edition, first episode. So this was on cannabis in Massachusetts becoming legal. And we are in the beautiful Berkshire Mountains in North Adams, Massachusetts, in the middle of January. We get snow here, we get cold, we get wind. It's a pretty brutal place. People tend to be a little bit bitter and upset with life up here, but I love it, and I think it's beautiful. So sayonara.